I'm not gonna lie. I was actually hoping to sit here and talk to you about a real Seiko Willard that I wanted to buy for myself for breaking 1000 subscribers. But I had to buy a new car, and as financially irresponsible as I am, the real Willard has to wait. Fortunately, I actually got one Willard in my collection. Yes, it is a homage. Some people love them, some people hate them. I'm honestly somewhere in the middle. I absolutely hate some of them, I'm okay with others. However, I gotta say I really do like this one. Let's have a look.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know again, quite late to the party. There is about gazillion videos about Willards on YouTube. Back then when I started watch collecting, if you didn't own Steel Dive 1970, it's almost like you didn't exist. Jody from Just One More Watch called it the best value mechanical watch in the world, and who am I to argue with that guy? So of course I got one, and I actually liked it. I wore it a lot, but then I sold it. See, that watch, as good as it is, made me realize that I don't like glossy ceramic bezels. This might sound silly, it's a design thing, but it actually gets worse if you live in a sunny country and you step outside and try to look at the time. So eventually I started wearing it less and less, and then I sold it. Maybe because I was going through my original watch design phase. But then I saw this new shop everyone suddenly talked about, WatchDives. Of course I checked it, and one particular model actually caught my eye. Their Willard. Out of all the homages I've seen, this is the only one that has matte aluminum bezel. After long thinking, about 27 seconds, I bought it. I'm really happy I did because it not only has the right bezel, it's got what must be the most beautiful green color I have ever seen on the watch. And yes, before you try to tear me apart in comments, I have handled the real Willard, the green one. The color on this one is better. Not the watch, I'm not crazy. The color is. And please try to keep in mind throughout this video that this watch only costs 90 euros because that changes the perspective a lot. The watch comes in surprisingly good packaging. Very nice polygon style case with metal tools to adjust your bracelet, and they actually feel like a good quality, so that's nice. I purchased the watch on a bracelet, and normally I complain about the bracelet, but again, keeping the price in mind, solid links, solid end links, milled clasp, yeah, it's a bit rattly, but I handled worse. The clasp is a bit sharp, but I handled worse. And you barely pay anything extra for the bracelet, so why not? It's just, I somehow think the Willard doesn't feel right on the bracelet. That watch somehow just belongs on a rubber or NATO. So for lack of better options at the time, I put it on a rubber that comes with my ProMaster Echo Drive. Half of you probably just did something like this.
Brother, what's that?
The other half turned off the video completely. That was a joke. I put the watch on a beautiful CNS straps. Almost all my straps are from CNS straps. Having the strap situation sorted, what is the watch actually like? Quite simply, for the price, incredible. I mean, yeah, the brushing on the top of the asymmetrical case is a bit rough, but consistent rough. The polishing is a bit hazy, not exactly Zaratsu, but it's good enough and on par with the watch is costing 2 to 3 times more. The transition between brushed and high polish is not exactly sharp, but it's not overbrushed or overpolished. It's good. The crown, however, is quite simply perfect. It's beautifully finished with an awesome and I believe faithful edge to the original Willard. It resides absolutely flawlessly in this guards or guard section. It is signed with the WatchDives Shield logo and the action is absolutely great. It is super easy to operate, you get really satisfying pop when you unscrew it. And when you want to screw it back down, there is immediate thread pickup and the threading itself is smooth and doesn't feel greedy. On a watch for 90 bucks. Probably everyone would be expecting Seiko NH35 inside, and everyone would be right. 3 Hz, hacking, hand winding, 40 hours of power reserve workhorse. You know very well what to expect from the movement and you won't be disappointed. What I didn't expect, however, was that this watch would turn out to be the best running mechanical watch I currently own in my collection. Throughout this week when I wore it for filming, it didn't lose anything, or gained. I mean, we all hear the stories about perfectly running Seiko NH35s out there. They're kind of like unicorns, I guess. So I just got lucky. WatchDives doesn't mention that they would regulate the movement, so case back is rather simple. It has a WatchDives logo in high polish and specs around, and it's screwed down. The bezel is probably the part that made me actually pull the trigger in the first place. Coin edge, very proud bezel with out of the box super stiff action, but after a couple of twists, it got just right. The resistance feels right and consistent throughout. It is perfectly aligned, zero backplate, and it's matte aluminium. Minute markers in silver all the way around, and the lume. Moving on to the main star of the show, the green sunburst very dark dial. I am yet to find a light where this watch would feel boring, where this watch wouldn't look good. The dark sunburst effect WatchDive pulled off here is quite simply phenomenal. WatchDive shield logo at 12 printed in white, and automatic water resistant 200 meter at 6, with those 200 meters being printed in red. What makes this combo even more awesome is the material WatchDive chose for hands and indices. Bronze. Bronze with that dark green. Oh, it's just, I wish you could see it in person. It is a combo I absolutely fell for. Big applied rectangles with large fonts at 6 and 9, and this beaver teeth like at 12. Frame date window at 3, with white printed minute track all around. And the handset is not only in bronze, but it has another trick up its sleeve. It's double finished. It has a brushed middle part with high polish chamfered edges. It always catches the lights. It's always there. It always pops. Always legible. And it's always very dynamic, even in a low light. The handset is also correct size. The second hand has this typical semaphore Willard shape with a red dot. The other incredible part on a watch for 90 euros is the lume. Green C3. And it's just great. And it stays perfectly legible throughout the night. On par with my Kamasu. The thing is that when you turn off the light, the handset feels a little bit darker than the indices, but it doesn't fade quickly. Another thing I really like is how they finish the rehaul. It's not just black or brushed or anything, it's actually almost color matched green, but thanks to the angle it's positioned at, it feels darker. It all looks so good together. And another good news is that the crystal covering it all actually lets you admire it all the time. It's a flat piece of sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating. And the anti-reflective coating is doing a great job here. The crystal sits very proud on the bezel and it's got a chamfered edge. It wears beautifully, it feels great on the hand, and I normally hate to say that the watch feels more expensive than it is, because I like watches that don't pretend to be something that they're not. But this doesn't feel like 90 euro watch. For the great variability we have to thank Seiko. The big watch on a short luck-to-luck trick is here and it makes it so much better. I know there's a lot of Willards you can buy for even less than this. And I know a lot of people just wouldn't buy it because it is a homage. And I completely get it. I mean, heck, even I still want to buy the real Willard eventually. I think watches like this have a place. It's arguably the best 90 bucks I ever spent. I absolutely love the color combo. I like wearing the watch. Keeping the price in mind, I'm not really afraid about it. I like the bezel. I like it all. And that urge of buying the real Willard is not that strong now. The real Seiko Willard is absolutely phenomenal watch. It's not a great value though. The very unit I handled had a misaligned bezel on a watch that cost more than $1,000. This doesn't. Plus it runs the same 6-hour movement that is in my Alpinist, and that costs almost a half. It's definitely not 12 times better than this. So there you have it guys, my first watch from WatchDives. I really do like it. I can speak for the other models, I haven't had them in my hands. But if they are similarly built to this one, I would dare to try more. As always, thank you very much guys for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. If you didn't like the video, I thank you for watching this far, and please feel free to drop a comment. Do you have an experience with WatchDives? Have you tried any of their other models? My name is Karel and this is Watch. Till next time, cheers.